with Scott, a member of our team who works on our software and our hardware, and we were just basically having a chat about how machine learning and artificial intelligence sometimes can sound kind of scary to a commercial grower who is perfectly aware and knowledgeable on how to grow his or her own crops. So we were talking about it, and we thought it was worth sharing some of the knowledge and opinions that our team had on this subject. So to start off with, I think it's fair to say that if a commercial grower knows how to grow properly, there's a general consensus that automating and monitoring what's happening in a grow environment is a good thing, but to take it to the next level where we're going as a company may be almost too much. So what are your thoughts on how commercial growers should view artificial intelligence and machine learning, and why could it help them have a better experience in their greenhouse?
Yeah, so the assumption really is that if you're a successful grower, then you know the amount of light that's needed for a particular crop, and the temperature in the room, and the water level, and the amount of nutrients in the reservoir. But then there's a lot of factors that you need to remember, and every time the environmental conditions change, which also affect the conditions of your greenhouse, you then have to manually adjust everything, right? So that's well and good, but then if you have multiple crops with different types of requirements, you also want to be able to do the changes and change the settings right away. And that's when machine learning is helpful. Because instead of you manually changing everything, the equipment and the smart system will do it for you.
Okay, so that makes sense. Part of your background was studying at McGill. Scott just completed his master's, and there was an interesting part of what you were studying and writing about in your thesis, which was connected to associative memory, which I had no clue what that really meant until you explained it, and that does have a relevance on how we're building our software to help growers. So can you give us a very sort of easy to understand analogy of what associative memory really means and how we're integrating that into our software?
Sure. So associative memory is like a hardware memory that's modeled after the human brain. So the things that we know as like human beings, we can recall them right away, even if we're given like partial information. For instance, one of the most popular paintings is Mona Lisa. So if I show you a portrait of Mona Lisa, but I covered her face, you'd still be able to tell me that it's the portrait of Mona Lisa because you've learned it and you're given some information, you're still able to recall and classify the painting. So we can use that kind of analogy in, or that theory in farming, in the sense that once we have so many types of data and so many types of recipe for growing a particular plant or different regions of a big greenhouse, we want to be able to collect minor or partial information and then generate the amount or the right kind of settings in order to grow a particular crop. So the advantage of that is that you're not using a lot of memory because you're using partial information, and you're also doing it fast. So the risk of your plants dying because you're not able to implement the right settings right away are lessened, and that's what we want.
Okay, that sounds good. And from a very sort of tech standpoint, the hardware that we're manufacturing and delivering to clients, it can be smaller and smaller and smaller because we don't physically need that much computer power inside because we're using less power, less memory, like the human brain, but still being able to predict what needs to happen, still recognizing those different items that will give us the clue as to the next thing we need to do. Is that?
That's correct. The target really is that you have to maintain accuracy. You're consuming very little memory, and also it has to be fast, because if it's not fast, then you might as well do it manually.
Okay. So back to the original point of commercial growers, generally speaking, already knowing how to grow a crop well. What kind of benefits should they really be able to see once their system has integrated machine learning and artificial intelligence, in the sense of, are they expecting major improvements on their crop, or to start with, are we leaning more towards improving how they can make decisions but still letting them make decisions?
I think it's a little bit of both, but we're going to start with automating everything. So that takes a lot of manual effort, and we know that manual intervention, there's always like some error, the risk of error. So you as a person can do something manually, but for instance, you might forget, like turning on the light, for instance. So we want to eliminate all of those factors that can possibly bring down the yield of your crop. So we start from that, and then as we continue collecting more data and we build a smarter system, then we're going to be able to help them actually, maintain their yield and prevent them from suffering unnecessary losses.
Okay, cool. So I hope that gives you some idea on the kind of environment that we work within. And again, we monitor, we automate, and now we're starting to predict what crops need. Thanks, Scott.